Hey all my fellow and soon-to-be maniacs out there, we are here with another edition of Coffee and Chainsaws, where I sit down, I ramble, or I just talk about current events that has happened over the past few weeks or week, and also touch on topics pertaining mostly to Webtoon as well as webcomics and animation as well. So if you guys enjoy the kind of content that I do and you would like to see more, I suggest you head on down to that like button, go ahead and subscribe, as well as ring that notification bell to be notified of anything else I do on this channel. Don't forget to share, as well as I have a Ko-fi, so if you guys want to support any other projects I do in the future, you know where to go. All those various links will be in the description down below. So let's first start off with the results of the call to action contest, which, by the way, Webtoon is still holding our entries hostage, and I want to post new episodes of Kill All Heroes, but unfortunately I can't do that because they like, we still locking all the entries. So I don't know when I'll get those back yet. But I've recently been uploading onto Manga Plus by Medibang. So you can head over there to check out any new episodes of Kill All Heroes, as well as Telehub. Telehub is usually the most up to date with all my comics and stuff. So moving forward to the call to action stuff, I'm really excited to see the animated short that they're going to be making for the first, or the person who won the grand prize, which is first place basically. And this was, I think, Scale Hunters by Lucian Galasine. I can't remember the name, but it starts with a G and it is sign in it, or sane, I don't know. But anyway, that person won the contest, and you know, props to them. They had some really impressive artwork. Everything looked really nice. The story was a bit meh. I don't think I'm the only one who thinks that Neno said his views on this particular entry. It was alright. It's not actually that bad, but it's not that oomph, you know, that oomph in there, and it was kind of cringeworthy a little bit. Just a little bit, not too much, but just a little bit. Although the artwork, phenomenal, really good artwork compared to all the other entries. Like, I mean, we've read through all the other entries, and if you guys want to see the few entries that I've read on this channel, there's a playlist that I will put up of all the streams where I not only talked about the contest, but I also read through a bunch of entries on there. So I'll put those streams up. We recently concluded the trilogy before the contest concluded and everything, so you guys can check that out if you haven't already. Yeah, so that was a cool comic. I haven't actually checked out the others. I have checked out the first three, which was the ones who won the grand prizes. They are all right. They're all right. There was like a magical girl one, I remember, which magical girls can be cool when well, my specific type of magical girl comic would be basically magical girls, but like with a more darker twist, because you know, I really like dark stuff and blood and gore and stuff like that, so that's just my thing, you know what I'm saying? So I'm pretty sure they were fine. I can't remember what the second entry was. Oh yeah, it was like the stories weren't really that impactful from what I've seen, but the art was amazing. But the stories didn't really pull me in. The only story I think that I really enjoyed out of all the entries that I've won, I think is the 8th place entry, Gina. Really fun entry. I really enjoyed myself with that one. I think that's the only one that really pulled me in a bit. I'm not sure about the other entries. I haven't checked all of them. As well as one of our Discord members, Esteban Tuninity. Shout out again to Tuninity, man. Getting into the honorable mentions. I mean, his comic is phenomenal. I thought the concept of what it was really cool. The action was really cool. Honestly, I would have wished they would have got like into one of the other places. That would have been really cool. High Kings was also an honorable mention, which I mentioned before. I knew it was going to get somewhere within the placing somewhere. Sharai as well, one as well. I think those two that I just mentioned now, they were in honorable mentions, and they're very, you know, classic webtoons, like very manual Korean style, like comic stuff. So I wasn't quite sure on, and I mean, that's cool. I think Webtoon has a specific style that they're looking for, as well as something they're looking for something to that effect. Although there are some of them that have just, you know, through their skills have surpassed that expectation with Webtoon, and it kind of like grinded. You know, when this contest concluded, when it was about to conclude, I was like really worried. I was like, what if I get like, like third place? Because remember, we only saw what we saw. I didn't see these entries because obviously if I've seen these entries, obviously I would have known like, oh shit, okay, there's a possibility I won't actually win. But I haven't actually seen these entries. So when I saw these, I'm like, oh shit, there's actually been some really good artists that is like I haven't seen their entries. Wasn't pushed as much, except Gendario. I know it's like some sort of play on Indonesian word. Like I'm not quite that deep in the Indonesian culture, even though I'm part Indonesian, so I don't know anything about that. I know it's something to do with Indonesian crypts or something like that. But yeah, that one the art was pretty good, but the actions weren't quite clear, and the story wasn't. I couldn't understand what the hell was going on there. So also Limitless, the chest thing, I don't know. Like some of them was really cool. Like, and then there's number 4 as well, which was very like sexually driven characters. You know what I mean? Which was like, okay. Webtoon chose what they chose. I don't think my comic or my art style would have been a good fit for Webtoon, to be honest with you, because they want action, but they don't want too much action. They want blood, but they don't want too much blood. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, I get it. But part of me, like I said, was kind of glad when I saw like I didn't actually win, because I was like, fuck me, man. If I actually won, I would have basically shaken hands with the devil, if you know what I mean. And I'd have to, like hopefully they read the fine print, and they actually take into account what the contract offers and everything, because I don't know what they're going to offer, and with all the complaints and everything that's gone on with Webtoon, I just hope they get their money's worth, and it's worthwhile for them as an artist to actually put that much effort and time, because they're gonna be like, I've seen like their artwork and their art style and everything, and if Webtoon expects them to keep that art style up throughout the release of the series. Now, obviously, hopefully, the most sensible thing for Webtoon to do is to have them complete a seasonal buffer, so they will like actually finish season 1 or whatever, and then upload it weekly, and that way they have a giant buffer and they can work on season 2, obviously. In the meantime, while season 1 is being released, hopefully that's the thing that's gonna happen. Otherwise, if Webtoon's just gonna chuck them into the deep end, and they have to just fucking finish an entry every single week. Oh my god. Yeah, but that's why actually, like, when I did my entry, I tried to actually manage my time and figure out exactly how long it would take for me to put out an episode. And obviously I can, with my art style and like everything that I've done using Blender and everything, it takes me less than 2 weeks to actually finish a full-on episode of like 40 panels. So like you can say like a week and a half it takes me to do that, right? If I still keep up the quality and everything and I'm not rushing, like that's a week and a half. If I actually had to win the top spot, like fuck, I don't know how it would have changed the scheduling and stuff. Obviously I wouldn't have left my animation job as well, so I would have to do double time both times. Yeah, I don't think I would have turned the contract down. I would have to. The thing is, I'm not gonna say much, but let's just say my animation studio, we have something in the works for specific client. I've mentioned this to my friends on the Discord. For a specific client that, let's say, it's a specific subscription service that it starts with N and ends in a X. That's as much clues as I can give you. If you don't get it, you don't get it. But that's what I'm working on. There's plenty of projects coming out in terms of my animation stuff, and stuff that can actually be a really good thing for my career moving forward. So because obviously I want to be an animator, because obviously I love animation and I love the job that I do, and I really want to see how far I can push myself in this field and see what type of opportunities and things I can get throughout my career as an animator. So I'll be pushing on that side of it. You have plenty of projects that I have coming up. The short film still going on in the back. That's my own personal project, but there's studio projects that I'm working on as well. We recently just locked down a 2D animation, like, I don't know if it's going to be frame by frame or if it's going to be more of a like puppeteering 2D style. I don't know. I haven't got any details on it. I just know it's locked down in the background with that certain client that I mentioned. That's happening whenever that happens. But in the meantime, I do have another project that the studio's putting out, and it's more of a creative-based project. Because usually what I do is, for those of you who don't know, my job, I do like health and safety stuff. So we put out health and safety-based videos in terms of, and we do it in like an animation. So let's say a car's like going to hit a kid, and let's say it's about drunk driving. Right? We want to build awareness for drunk driving. We'll do an animation about like a kid getting almost knocked over by a car, and then they'll like put up things like, don't do this while driving, don't do that. Like, that's basically what I do. That's kind of like my job. That's I create 3D assets for that. I render out scenes. I do stuff like that, you know, all that type of stuff. And it's mostly 3D based, but recently we've been getting a lot of 2D based animation stuff. And it's happening actually at a good time, because I'm recently just getting into the frame by frame 2D animation stuff, and I think moving forward, and I think the thing I want to specialize in most in terms of frame by frame animation, or just animation in general, is the more choreographing of the fights. You know, I want to do that stuff, you know, where you kind of like planning out the movements of the fight scenes and stuff like that. Like, I want to do that type of thing moving forward, but we'll see what happens. You know, I don't mind doing all the other stuff as well, but that's, I think, the thing I want to specialize in the most, because I'm very good in dynamic poses and you know, flipping characters around in like 3D space and stuff like that. So that's something that I want to improve on more. And also, I just wanted to mention that I don't think I'll be joining any other contests in terms of comics. I won't be joining any other comic contests because I don't think it's gonna benefit me moving forward in terms of my career path. So mostly moving forward, I will be doing a lot of animation based contests, but I will still be doing my comics, you know, my normal comics that I put out every time. But in terms of contests, I will be doing only animation based contests moving forward, because I feel like that's gonna actually benefit me more, as well as the timing of everything falling on top of each other. You know, I can't just do comics and then comic contest, you know. It's just, there has to be a balance, because otherwise I'm gonna burn myself out in terms of like doing one thing. I like to keep things fresh, I like to keep things moving, which is why I like hopping around on different projects and stuff like that. And I like hopping from project to project and then going back to another project like when I feel like it. You know, I like doing stuff like that because it keeps things fresh, it keeps my interest always peaked. You know what I'm saying? I think moving forward, I'm going to do my normal comics that I normally do, that I release on a weekly basis. By the way, by the looks of it, I might actually be releasing my Kill All Heroes episodes on a weekly basis if things come right there, because from what I'm seeing, the process that I'm using now, you know, the combination of Blender and Clip Studio is actually bearing its fruits, and I'm completing episodes quite fast. I've also shortened the panels for the episodes because I didn't think they needed to be as long as they need to, because usually with longer panels I have to plan more, like, and since I'm like a pantser, I usually plan on the spot, and so I usually sit longer with when it comes to the thumbnailing process. But I realized if I shorten it to like 30 to 25 panels, the planning goes much quicker and I'm able to gather my thoughts much better. I think moving forward, 25 to 30 panels per episodes for Kill All Heroes will be more beneficial, and that way you guys can get weekly uploads as well. Also, Kill All Heroes is literally, I think we like almost halfway through. We actually passed the halfway mark of the first season actually, so which means we're getting back to the Merchant of Ignatius soon, which I'm really excited for, because I haven't actually I wanted to go back to that comic and actually complete it. I think the second season, and there's a third season which is the final season, and then that comic is done and I have actually finished comic, you know what I mean? So I'm really looking forward to hopping back on that comic, because I really enjoyed the characters and the story is really gonna pick up from here. At least it's not gonna pick up, but it's gonna be more of an informed season 2, because you're gonna learn more about Flavera and the merchants' past and how their paths crossed, and like you're gonna learn so much stuff about their past, as well as the lore of the series and how things happened, and you know, about the kings and all types of crazy stuff. So that's gonna be pretty cool. And then season 3 is obviously just gonna be the finalization of everything, where everything comes together. So yeah, that's gonna be really awesome. For Kill All Heroes, I think this season might be from, I plan to only make it like 15 episodes. Did I say 15 or did I say 12? There might be a bit more, maybe 18 to 15, depending on where exactly I wanted to end. Obviously I wanted to end on a nice juicy part so that people are excited to get back into it, or I want to leave you on a nice, not a crazy cliffhanger where it just like feels like you left hanging, you know. I want to leave it on a cliffhanger where it's like, oh shit, I can't wait to see what's gonna happen next, because these certain things happen. I want to kind of leave it there. So yeah, we're gonna see where that goes, but I don't know when Webtoon will release my entry so I can actually, you know, continue posting on that entry for the contest, because that's what I want to do. If they do not release my entry, I'll just have to repost it. But like I said, on Medibang as well as Delia, but he's up there, so if you guys want to see the latest episodes, they will be up there. I'm also planning to actually release it on Tappers as well, since the series is done now. You know, get the most out of my following. I like posting, you know, it's kind of like a running joke with me and my friends. They're asking me like, how much platforms have I already uploaded all my series onto? And yeah, guys, I upload on every platform that I can as much as possible, as a chance to get more readers to see my work, you know what I mean? So, you know, upload wherever you can, guys, is all I can say. So I want to talk a little bit more about the short films in terms of the contest and the Kill All Heroes one that's coming up. I was thinking of naming the short film Queen of Nightmares, because Luna is known as the Queen of Nightmares in my universe. But the short film's going pretty well. I'm still busy with the planning in terms of roughly outlining it, and I'm editing everything together with the voiceover I did for it, you know, how much time is needed here and there, and that's just gonna help with the planning of the thing. And then I will be finalizing everything, actually using, because there's very dynamic shots that I couldn't capture well, because, you know, it's gonna take a lot of time to kind of like figure out how the perspective works. But to bypass that, I can actually just use 3D models and animate the 3D models. You know, I have like a base model, like female and male base models that I can just use, and they're all rigged up and everything. So all I have to do is move them around and animate them. And I'm thinking for the more dynamic shots and the more like shots where the camera's all moving around and they're flying around the screen, I'm thinking I'm going to use the 3D models for that, and then obviously just use that poses as a reference for when I actually finalize the animation moving forward. Oh yeah, and also before I forget, for the Webtoon call to action short film, not short film, but the animated short they're doing for the #1 entry, I was planning on actually taking that animation and breaking it down on my channel. Hopefully it doesn't get copyright striked. I will try my best to make sure it doesn't. But yeah, I'm gonna break that video down, the animation and stuff for you guys, and we can actually see if it's an actual good animation. From what I've seen Webtoon produce, they can produce really good animations. So I'm really excited for that. And it's also a learning process for me moving forward, and how, you know, because they do have professional animators on their team, and they are really good by the looks of it. So I'm looking forward to learning from them and seeing the techniques they will use throughout the animated short, as well as it will definitely gain views on my channel, because Webtoon always gains views. So that'll be cool, you know, that'll be cool to actually look through and see exactly how things work over there, you know, what's going on. Maybe I'll actually go through the older animated stuff, or the recent animated, like the call to action animated short they put out. Maybe I'll go through that as well and check out the animation on there. Also, if you guys have a really awesome fight scenes in terms of like animated fight scenes, the best animated fight scenes you've ever seen, you know, let me know in the comment section down below which one of those you want me to break down, and we can go through it and break it down as well for a video or something, you know. Maybe I do it on a live, or maybe I recently had this idea of actually taking clips of like a certain scene within a fight scene, or certain shot within a fight scene, sorry, and putting it up actually like on TikTok or on Reels, and doing a quick 30-second breakdown of that like one movement or something, and how the animator actually accomplished that, you know, bringing more traffic to my social medias and stuff like that, because my wife is always on my ass. She's always like, hey, you gotta get on your socials, you gotta get on the TikTok, you gotta get on the Instagram, you wanna grow following, you gotta grow that shit. And you know, she's right, you know, I gotta get on there. It's just I'm like always busy with animation and stuff, and you know, sometimes I don't feel like it. And, you know, she's kind of like my manager in terms of my like social media stuff, because she has grown a pretty decent following, and so she's like giving me tips and everything on how I can do this, and like, yeah. And recently I followed her advice and I got a lot of followers. I got a lot of, you know, just being active like on TikTok and everything, you know. It's not even like that good of a video, but just being active on there actually helped my chances of like gaining new followers and everything. Yeah, it's actually helped the growth of my YouTube channel as well. So I'm like, okay, I gotta actually this is the game I basically have to play, you know. I have to basically jump around here and there to get the following I want and everything. So yeah, overall I've been enjoying this week, you know. It's been pretty chilled. Recently I mentioned this to my friend, you know, when the animation studio is pretty chilled, I get really like, this is the calm before the storm. This is when things really, you know, because it's that calming, you know. And we checked out our animation schedule, and yeah, it's gonna be packed soon. So we're gonna get a lot of animation working as well. So I might be really busy again soon. So like this time when it's like really calm, I'm like grinding, I'm getting things done so that when that storm hits, I'm ready and prepared and I have everything ready to go, you know what I'm saying? Oh my god. So yeah, it's been pretty cool. This is your second reminder to hit that like, subscribe, as well as ring that notification bell. Head on over to my Ko-fi if you want to donate. There is a donation button, I think, down below. I'm not quite sure. And you guys don't have to do that. That is just a little bit of cash for the future projects that I plan on doing. So any bit helps. Doesn't really have to be a lot. Or you can just even follow me on my other social medias. That's the best way to actually help me, guys. Actually, you know, just follow me wherever you can. Don't do it in real life because I will stab you. And I guess I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye bye, everyone.